Yes, hi there. These comments, I'm going to use the first letter of your first and last name, so NB. And first of all, I want to welcome you to my 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT, your online TOEFL course. And let's get to the questions. Okay, so if I remember correctly, one of your questions was about canceling the service. So let me answer that one first, and then I'll answer your next question. What you've done right now is you created a subscription. PayPal comes between you and me. PayPal is the merchant, or the kind of like the bank that accepts the money, and then they in turn pay me. So once you create your subscription goes for 30 days, and you get billed every 30 days. So if you start today, I think that you did, so your billing cycle starts on October 25th, 2012, and it continues monthly until you cancel. Now what that means, NB, is if you only want to use my course for 1 month, then you want to go to your PayPal account and cancel my subscription. Do it October or November 24th, the day before your billing cycle starts for the next month. That way you won't be billed for another month. Does that make sense? So that's the first thing. Now, unfortunately, canceling your subscription at PayPal can be a little bit confusing. They don't make it really easy to do. So if you have questions, when you go online to PayPal, you can call them, call the number, tell them who you are, say you want to cancel your subscription with Michael Buckoff, and they will help you do that. So it's actually pretty easy, and PayPal has very good customer service, so they can help you in that area. All right, let's go to your next question. You say, "Hi, Michael. I have a few questions. Number one, what will be the strategy for the TOEFL?" Here's your strategy. You want to go through all 7 sections of my course: vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, listening, reading, writing, and speaking areas. Now, all the content stays the same each month. What you want to do is work in the vocabulary section until you can score 85% on the final exam in that part of the course. If you get 85%, that means you have very strong vocabulary. You have finished that section. Pronunciation. This is difficult. Your goal is to get 5.1 out of 7 or higher on the post-test. If you meet that goal, that means that you no longer need to study in the pronunciation part of my course. Grammar. Grammar, you go through the lessons and then complete all the exercises over at the website, A Writer's Reference by Dana Hacker. Once you've gone through all those exercises and the grammar and the writing areas in particular, and you feel like you understand the information, then you have finished the grammar part of my course. With the listening, your main goal is to go through all those different listening practice tests. You can do this with different goals. The first time you go through the listening practice test, your goal is simply comprehension, right? So you want to score about 80% or higher on the listening practice test. That would be a great goal. Now, the second time you go through those listening practice tests, you can do it with the integrated speaking as a goal. So you listen to the lecture, you take down some notes, and then you just practice orally summarizing that information. That would be very good practice for you for the TOEFL IBT integrated speaking section. Now, the final time you go through the lectures, you can do it with the TOEFL integrated writing in mind. So once you listen to the lecture, again, like you did when you're practicing speaking, you take down some notes, you use your notes to write a summary of what you've listened to. And that would be very good practice for the integrated writing section. That would be my goal to help you with your TOEFL. Okay, now let's go to reading. Your main goal in the reading section in B is to make sure you can achieve a reading speed of about 300 words per minute or more. This would be very good for you. for the TOEFL. That's your main goal in the reading part of my course. Now, there's two other ways that you can use my reading to help you prepare for the TOEFL. Like the listening, you can read the passage, take down some notes, and then practice orally summarizing the information. That helps you for the TOEFL integrated speaking. Now, again, you can read the passage, take down some notes, and then you can practice writing a summary of the reading passage. Now, make sure your summary is different. You're using different vocabulary and different grammar, and you're repackaging the reading a little bit differently than what you saw. You're trying to organize it even better than what you saw. So that would help you. So if you do those two things with the listening and the reading, not only are you working on the listening and the reading areas of the course, but you're also improving your TOEFL integrated speaking and writing proficiencies as well. Now let's go to writing. The main thing out of the writing is there are 10 different independent writing practice tests. There's 10 integrated writing practice tests. The main thing is you want to try to score approximately 24 to 25 points on either an independent or integrated writing practice test, and if you do, that means that you have very strong writing proficiency. Speaking. Again, you go through all the lessons, you begin completing these speaking, these independent and integrated speaking tasks. Your goal is to score around 26, approximately 25 to 26 points on those speaking tasks, and again, that means you will be ready. So then, let's keep going. You say, what is your suggestion for me? Means, should I follow the same sequence the way it is? And I would say it can be a little boring to focus on just one section. It might not be a bad idea for your first month to focus, depending on your weaknesses, focus in the vocabulary, pronunciation, and the grammar. Maybe for the second month you can focus in the reading and the listening areas. And then for the final month you can focus in the speaking and the writing parts of my course. Now, the one thing that you should probably do during your whole time that you use my service and my online course in B is to make sure that you're continually studying the vocabulary words, always, month to month to month. That's a cycle. That's a circle. There's really no beginning and end. You're constantly familiarizing yourself with the vocabulary words in my first section. Okay, let's keep going. You say this is a course for 1 month, right? Yes. So this is your course. It doesn't matter. You might need it for 1 month. You might need it for 2 months. The content stays the same. The difficulty level will stay the same, right? So the main thing is once you do the pronunciation, writing, and speaking practice test, you will get feedback from me, right, or from my IBT Human Rater, and we will tell you what specific lessons you need to focus on so that you can improve your weaknesses. So the way that my course works in B, it's a combination of you going through the lessons and completing practice tests, many of which are scored directly by computer, or in the case of my pronunciation, speaking and writing practice tests, these will be scored by me or one of my workers, and then we'll give you feedback, you'll review some lessons, you'll come back and take more practice tests. So it's kind of a, it's a step-by-step approach. Now, you will know when you're ready to take the TOEFL exam. If you don't pass the exam the first time, you can continue to use my course. So, you say, on a day, how much time should I spend for the TOEFL? I would recommend no more. I would not use my TOEFL course more than 3 hours per day. That's probably too much. It's too much information. Your brain's going to explode. So 2 to 3 hours would be the most you want to use my course each day. In addition to using my course, you're also doing other things. You're watching TV in English. You're listening to the radio in English. You're reading newspapers, magazines. You're reading books in English. You're using the language as much as you can in addition to the time that you're spending at my TOEFL course. So if you do that, and you work in my TOEFL course, you begin to build some very, very advanced academic English language proficiency, and then your score actually can become very high pretty fast. The results are, I'm not going to say they're miraculous, but if you follow my system, you can usually get about 5 to 10 points each month higher than the month before on your TOEFL course. The only exception of this is if you're going from, say, 40 or 50 out of 120, you can usually make some pretty fast gains there. But the closer you get to 100, of course, the more difficult it becomes for you to make progress, because you're getting so advanced that you're getting close to your ceiling or your ability, your maximum ability. So anyway, thank you very much for your comments. I hope in this video I've given you some good answers to help you see how you can now use my online TOEFL course to help you begin improving your academic English proficiency. And again, NB, thank you very much for your comments, and keep up the good work.